Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Retro Robbins Review. Today I'm going to review 3 games for you, but first, what news do we have? Well, let's have a look. First of all, the news that I've been telling everyone about the ZX Spectrum Next Issue 2 Kickstarter is now up to 3,558 backers with 19 days to go from when this video was recorded. May not be from when you watch it, but from when it was recorded, which means that's a combined total of 1,238,994. That's nearly 4 times the amount they need to proceed with the project. They originally wanted 250,000 before the project was going to be able to proceed. They clearly smashed through that within the first couple of minutes, and yeah, it's going strong. Exciting times. Also, you know, I'm a big Crash collector, a big Crash fan. Collected them from the word top with my pocket money or whatever money I could scrounge at the age I was. I think you may only have a day or 2 left to pledge for the Crash issue 101 with Chris and his team. 1 or 2 other items he's offering, a couple of signed copies as well, worth getting. So without any further ado, let's review our first game from the Crash magazine, which was first issued, Crash number 43, August 1987. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if these games have stood the test of time. If their review holds true, maybe they be a bit mean, or maybe they was a bit spot on, and 9 times out of 10 the guys from Crash back in the day weren't far off the mark. So let's have a look. This is the game that we're going to review today, the first one of 3, Slap Fight. Let's enlarge the screen for you. How's that for a view? Yeah, good clear picture. This does have a loading screen, I'll show you that in a minute, which is always good when a game loads. The original review, presentation 66, graphics 78, playability 74, overall rating 72%. So let's have a look. Without any further ado, let's have a play of this game. So we want to go 1 player, press key 4. And it's the usual keys, Q, A, O, P and M. And the first thing I notice, it's obviously going to be 2 colours, black and white. Oh, pretty effective though. Their bullets are pretty accurate as well. Nice background. It's a good vertical shoot 'em up really, isn't it? Ah, and as you collect different stars, you can get different power-ups. Speed, shot. And I am, as always, dreadful. I'm using keys. You can use joystick option. Some people prefer joystick, I prefer keys. And not lasting too well. Good thing is you don't start from the very start. So overall, yeah, let's see what you think about it. Give it a go, give it a try. If you don't beat my score, there's something wrong with your gaming ability. Oh, I see what you have to do. You get as many stars on the screen and collect them all in one go. I think I'm going to play this and I'm going to poke it for the infinite or invincibility. Just so as I can see further on levels. This is the only way I can ever complete a game, to be quite honest. That AY sound you can hear in the background is nothing to do with this game. I'll just hasten to add, it's quite funky and quite enjoyable. Them bullets are hard to watch. You can just half the time the bullets are missing there. I just end up forgetting that they're there and flying back into them. It is tough. Yeah. So, yeah, it's quite a tough game. You've really got to put some practice in to get through a few levels of these. You probably could do it with just concentrating on avoiding everything. Background's pretty nice. Ooh, and I finally made it to the mothership. I never thought I'd make it that far. I seem to have endless amounts of lives. And that's slap fight, which I'll let run for a few minutes. Worth a go. So, let me give it a rating. From the Crash magazine issue, they gave it an overall rating of 72. Graphically, they gave it 78. Well, considering it's only got 2 colours really, the graphics and the background are pretty good. I think that was a bit harsh on their behalf. I'm going to give it a 85% rating on graphics compared to them. Playability 74. Yes, Crash, I totally agree. Presentation 66%. Now that is low. Presentation 75%. Overall rating 72% they gave it. I don't agree with that. I would say 75%, or in my case I'd give it 7.5 out of 10. So that would be my rating. Do you want to see the loading screen? Of course you do. And there's the loading screen, which is what you get when you're loading the game up via a tape file. Pretty well done, very colourful, very effective loading screen. I spent a bit of time on that. Imagine, obviously. Great software company back in the day. And that's that part. Right, let's move on to the next game. So the next game we're going to play is called Rubicon, spelled R-U-B-I-C-O-N. And let's have a look. They gave this quite a low rating, an overall rating of 30%, which is pretty bad. Presentation they gave it 40, graphics they gave it 47, playability they gave it 32. So let's see what we can do with this rating of theirs. Does this rating stand the test of time? This game doesn't have a loading screen, which is most unfortunate. I think you've only got 4 directional keys. I haven't found a fire key, which is also most unfortunate. However, I do find the game itself to be quite colourful. It's effectively a giant maze. That is quite colourful, isn't it? The movement is quite smooth. The change between screens is quite fast and effective. Obviously you press down, you go down. You can duck to duck things going. You jump to jump over the things that are coming on the floor, which is exactly what you've got to do. And I always seem to get it wrong. And as you get hit more and more times, unless you get hit by a dart, you see the colour of your man change from white and it goes darker. There's no advantage in that, it's just too quick. I'm down to 1 life already. You get various puzzles to do. I haven't worked out quite what to do yet. I just avoided that dart just in time, didn't I? And then you've got this puzzle which I haven't even worked out how to get around this yet. So it's a problem solver. Okay. So I presume you've got to go on the right colour at the right time. Or is it the shape? No, I haven't got a clue what to do there. I need to look that up. But that's the game overall, which is... Let's see if it stands up to their rating compared to mine. The AY sound, by the way, you can hear in the background is not from this game. This game doesn't have AY music on it at all, so it is only a 48k version of a game, not a 128k. So, let's have a look. Graphics, 47%. Well, no, actually, I think the graphics are better than that. I would say the graphics are around about 58% to 60%. Let's say 60% to round it up, because they are quite colourful. There's no real colour clash. There's a bit of work gone into them. There's plenty of movement. Also, it's quite smooth. The change of the screens are quite quick, so it's quite playable. Presentation, they've got it down at 40% in their magazine. I agree, I concur. Playability 32%, yeah, I would say so. Overall rating 30%. I think that's really harsh. Really harsh. But I'm not going to be any less harsh. I'm going to say 40%. I'll give this game an overall rating 4 out of 10. Which, if you was to convert theirs, is a 3 out of 10 rating. So I think it's better than that. So there's one for you to try out. See if you can do better than me, which shouldn't be hard. And you see if you can actually figure out what to do with this puzzle. It's quite a decent sized maze, and it would probably keep you occupied for at least 30 minutes. So, without no further ado, let's move on to today's final review of the game. And we're going to go with Void Runner. VOIDRUNNER. Select the right file. There we go, we're ready to go. So, what have they rated this? They've gave it a 54% rating. And this is from the magazine in August 1987. Good vintage. Presentation 66%. Graphics, they've based it as 38%. Playability 59%. Addictive qualities 58%. Overall rating 54%. Graphics, let's see. From the title screen, the first thing you notice is you can redefine your keys, and I think that's always a bonus, especially with some of the older games where you've been using a rubber keyboard and you've moved up to a Spectrum Plus. The keyboard could be slightly different. For instance, on the rubber keyboard there's nothing below the M, so you don't get a space bar in the way. On the newer keyboard there's a space bar or an arrow key behind, so you can end up trying to press the M and pressing space, which on some games is a break key, can put you back to the start or even break into the game. So I'm going to use the configuration I like, and you can actually select space as the fire key in this game. Some games you can't. 0 to start. This is a traditional shoot 'em up. And the presentation of the level, well, that's well done. We like that. The start of the level presentation, very good as well. And that's your ship, and it's pretty fast, pretty responsive on the old fire button. And as you can see, I've just got hit by one of the bullets that missed me. I have a habit of flying into bullets that have just gone past me. And I should have avoided that. And I like the way the background changes from various dot patterns. Simple but effective. Keeps the screen full of action. And there is a torpedo that comes down and drops exactly where you are. If you don't move quick enough, you end up hitting it. Once again, this game doesn't have AY sound. It's a pretty effective shoot 'em up, I must admit. It's quite enjoyable. I'm kind of enjoying this one. You can hear the Ghostbusters theme in the background. Yeah, this will make a good game to have a challenge with your mates, because it's pretty straightforward. See who can get the highest score, you know, after a few cans or whatever. It's not exactly Call of Duty, but I find it quite effective and quite enjoyable. So there you go, this is today's third game. I'll give it a review in a moment and see what you think. And what I'm trying to do with this series of videos is try and introduce some of the games that time forgot. And you know, you might find yourself seeing a game that you'd want to try out. Could be a hidden gem that you'd actually enjoy, and you've never seen it before. Some of them you may have seen before, and you probably wouldn't want to see them again. But there are a few gems, and there's plenty to choose from, even on the spectrum that you may enjoy. I'm down to my last life, so any minute now I'm going to die, and then I can do the review. Quite smooth movement. It's a game you could almost, apart from the movement, you could almost pull off in basic, couldn't you? You don't need much machine coding here. And that's it, game over. So, let's compare my rating to the original Crash magazine rating. Presentation 66%, I concur, totally agree there. Graphically 38%, well, it doesn't need brilliant graphics, so no, not really. 38% a bit low. I would give it 45%, I'm a little bit more generous than they are. Playability 59%, why not just round it to the 60%. Addictive qualities 58%, once again I'll round that to the 60%. Overall rating 54%, I'm going to give it a little bit higher than that, but once again Crash were pretty much on the mark there. Reviewed by Mark, Robin and Mike, and I've all written a various chapter back in the day. So my overall rating 58% compared to theirs. Effectively I'll give it 6.25 to 6.5 out of 10. And that concludes today's 3 games reviewed. Give them a go yourself, give them a try, and if you like the content of my little videos and you want to see more zoom out time, we can see my entire set. Ooh. Did I blind you then when I zoomed in? Please subscribe. In the meantime, I'll carry on working on looking at games that time forgot, and see if we can find 1 or 2 hidden gems that you may have missed originally, or you may have forgotten about and once played, but it's now in the distant past. Or even if you're new to the Spectrum scene, you've seen things for the first time, you're going to give it a go and you might find something that isn't mentioned very often, but you will enjoy. So, if you enjoy this video, as always, please subscribe, and I'll post a few more for you as soon as I can. In the meantime, you all have a good working week, or a nice weekend, depending on when you see or watch this video. And all take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.